All right, welcome everyone to our very first Career Path series for the fall 23 term and the academic year. We are excited to have Jenn back with us to share her invaluable knowledge and expertise and improve us in our professional and personal lives. I'm going to go ahead and turn it over to you, Jenn, and go ahead and get started.
Awesome. All right, just making sure I was off mute as I'm like, thanks. All right, cool. So welcome everybody. Hold on, I'm going to get my slide up, move a couple things around so this gives people another second or two to get settled while I get myself organized, because you know how it is when you share a screen in Zoom, everything moves on you. But thank you, Kirsten, so much for having me here tonight, and Molly as well. This is my third time doing Career Path series with you, so I'm always excited to jump in, chat with all of you. And yeah, so we will be using the chat tonight. So I'm going to go ahead and have people start using the chat now because it's Wednesday evening. I know this is a break between classes. So I'd love to just do an energy check-in. So in the chat box on a scale of 1 to 10, where 1 is non-existent and 10 is bouncing off the walls, let us know how much energy you have right now. And while you are answering that question, I will go ahead and introduce myself. So as Kirsten mentioned, my name is Jenn Masse, and I'm a certified mindful leadership coach. And what I do most in my practice is help executives and high potential employees challenge the old way of doing things, embrace the human side of leadership, and empower their teams to deliver high-end results on a more consistent basis. Said plainly, because I know that that's a mouthful, I empower leaders to redefine success so that they can unleash their full potential. All right, and it looks like we have some 6s, some 8s, a 4. Yeah, so candidly, I'm probably like a 7 or 8. I did take a nap before this to help boost me. I am not an evening person, but I'm really hoping that you can all help me stay energetic, stay engaged by keeping your camera on, engaging with the content, and utilizing the chat box. I definitely get my energy from other people, so don't want to be a talking head this evening. Help me out, participate. Cool. Now, just a quick show of hands, and I realized I can't actually see everybody. There we go. Either physically or using reactions, using like the Zoom emoji, whatever thingies. How many of you feel like this when it comes to chasing your dreams or making progress towards your goals? All right, for people on camera, I see a couple hand raises. See some of those emoji, what do we call those these days? Emoticons? I don't know, but I see some hand raises. What do the cool kids call these things? But yeah, right? Like, we all know that we're our worst enemy. And so often we're so focused on saving ourselves from failure that we don't even give ourselves the opportunity to fly. And that's what we're going to talk about tonight. How your definition of success, or even the goals that you're setting for yourself, might be setting you up for failure. And here is, apparently I did a build. Here's what we're going to talk about tonight. First, we're going to talk about your definition of success. Then we are going to talk about 4 ways that your definition of success might not be serving you. And then we're going to talk about your personalized success formula, which is where you can spend your time and energy when you walk away from here tonight to really make sure that you're bringing this all together and have a path forward. Some quick housekeeping. We're going to be doing, can we mute people? Thank you. So we're going to be doing a few exercises through the session. So you might want to take notes. So if you don't already have something to write with, please go ahead and grab a piece of paper, have something on your computer that's accessible, whatever works for you. Also feel free to grab a beverage. Staying hydrated is very important. I have seltzer. If you don't have class after this, feel free to get an adult beverage. You do you. If you have any questions or comments, pop them in the chat. If they're quick, I will do my best to answer them on the spot. Molly and Kirsten, feel free to hold me accountable to that. If one comes in, just flag me. Otherwise, I did carve out time halfway through for discussion and Q&A. So if it's a question that I am choosing not to answer right then and there, I will make sure I answer it later. And then lastly, I know that some of you may be really tempted to multitask. I get it. I know how busy you are, but I really encourage you to resist that temptation and stay focused for the next hour, because this talk is jam-packed with content that can ultimately help you achieve higher levels of success quicker than you dreamed possible. So, housekeeping out of the way, I feel like I'm talking a million miles a minute. So I'm going to slow myself down for a second. I'm going to have you open up that chat box again, because I want you to give me the answers this evening. And while I'm only partially kidding, I do believe that people have their own answers and are the best source of truth when it comes to holding things that are holding them back. So I'd love to just do an initial gut check and have you weigh in on the ways that you think your definition of success might be holding you back or might be setting you up for failure. So I'll give you like a minute to think about that. But again, gut reaction, don't spend too much time, and start dropping things into the chat. Lack of clarity, Molly, yeah. And I'll also read some of these because I know that the session's being recorded, and I don't know if chat transcripts are saved. So sometimes I'll just call out what's happening in the chat. So if you're tuning in afterwards, you can get some insight into other answers and realize you're not alone in this. Logan, too inclusive, all or nothing, striving for perfection. Unrealistic expectations, competing priorities. Totally. Awesome. And oh, good, more. Yay. Not realizing there are different levels of success. We have a really aware group. Good job, guys. How important it is to have a sponsor or a mentor for success. Yes. That's probably actually a question. It's very important. Totally a talk for a different day, but I'm actually partnering with Capital One coming up, and the whole 90-minute talk is on the value of finding a sponsor or a mentor to help you advocate for yourself. So topic for a different day, but yes, very important. Your definition's all or nothing. Your definition can be overwhelming or feels out of reach. And the answer is all of these, right? So in a little bit, I'll talk about 4 specific things, but honestly, all of these tie into those 4 specific bullets. And let me build this content up for you. And it starts with my story. So I'm going to stop sharing for a second. Thank you all for participating and weighing in, because I definitely needed that little bit of a break before I just started going at a million miles a minute again. So let me tell you my story and how all of this came to be and how I discovered some of this for myself. While I could probably go back further, I'm going to start with when I went to college and I declared my degree in accounting. Personally, I wanted marketing, but according to my dad, accounting was the fast path to success, and I was really good at math and really good at following rules, so I went with it. Fast forward to graduation and my corporate career, which started in, you guessed it, public accounting, and I was miserable. I was absolutely miserable. But I knew that success meant more money meant more parental approval, and of course, that elusive thing called happiness. So for over a decade, I kept chasing those promotions, the raises, the careers that would bring me success and happiness and freedom, everything that I desired, but they didn't. I was beyond burnt out and I was emotionally drained. And my breaking point was when I was sitting in my boss's office pitching a project that would help bring product to an underserved community. And I had such low energy and self confidence at that point in my career that I don't even think my boss finished saying no before I just broke down into a terrible mix of uncontrollable, ugly, snotty tears. And candidly speaking, I am not a crier unless I'm watching a Disney movie. Like, tears don't happen. So that was a giant red flag for me to be like, I'm hyperventilating, snotting, uncontrolled in my boss's office. And not knowing what else to do and utterly embarrassed by how I was holding myself, I took a few days off to clear my head. And it was in those following days when I was hiking with my pup that I finally gave myself permission to stop. For the first time, probably ever in my life, I stopped chasing. I stopped chasing, I stopped brushing off my emotions, and I took time to reflect on what had brought me to that moment. And it wasn't what I thought it was. It was me. Without realizing it, I had chosen a career based on getting approval from my parents and not what would bring me joy and fulfillment. To protect myself, I further sabotaged my success by trying to control every situation and drive specific outcomes that aligned with this vision of success, which is why when my boss started to say no, I lost it. What I didn't realize is not only were my behaviors sabotaging my overall success and happiness, I was so hyper focused on achieving someone else's goals and someone else's definition of success that I wasn't giving myself permission to ask myself what I truly wanted. And I realized that if I wanted to be happier, I had to stop chasing someone else's definition of success and start living life on my terms. So, fast forward to today, not only have I redefined success and created a life and career that I love, I've created a signature formula that empowers my clients to do the same. And let me reshare my screen here and pull up this formula. It's awareness plus strategy plus mindset equals success. Now, I would love for you to drop in the chat box, which of these 4 steps do you think comes first? Awareness, strategy, mindset, or success? Awareness, mindset, a mix of awareness and mindset, strategy, awareness, mindset. Awareness. So it's actually kind of a trick question. And Kimberly, you were the closest. It's a mix, but it's actually a mix of awareness and success. It is the awareness of your definition of success. Because if you are not clear in where you are going, it doesn't matter how good your awareness is, how good your strategies are, or what your mindset is. It's like being in the woods and using a compass to head blindly north when the breathtaking destination you were looking for was 50 yards to the west. And what I know for sure is if you are willing to challenge your truth and trust your inner compass, you will achieve greater levels of success than you ever realized were possible. Which brings me to the first item on our agenda tonight, defining success. And rather than sitting here and telling all of you what success means, because it really is different for each and every one of you, I would like you to take a few minutes to define it for yourself. And I'm purposely not going to give you any additional guidance on this. I just want you to take 3 minutes to write down your definition of success, if you have one, or key elements of what would make you feel successful if you don't. And it doesn't matter if you use complete sentences, bullets, whatever. Just take 3 minutes and just start getting some ideas onto paper. And I will start my timer and tell you when to stop. So go ahead and boom, 3 minutes. Okay, take about 30 more seconds. All right. So I know some of you can probably keep writing forever, but for the purposes of this evening, it's a good start. And now that you have that written down, we're going to just immediately jump into the second item on our agenda, which are the 4 ways that your definition might be setting you up for failure. So before we actually get into those 4 ways, I'd love to just get an understanding of what your initial reaction was to that exercise. When I asked you to take 3 minutes and write down your definition, what'd you think? What came up for you? Did you freeze or have no idea where to start? Did you get excited because you knew, you already knew the name of the yacht that you would own someday? Did you focus on all the things you should be doing instead of what you actually are doing or what you want to be doing? Were you worried about what other people would think or about everything you'd have to do to make it a reality? Yeah. So if a couple of you drew a blank, prioritizing, it stressed you out initially, you thought it would be easier, totally. Whatever your reaction was, whether it was a gut reaction, a thought process, or a behavior, those were completely normal and how you've successfully navigated your life up until this moment. And those exact behaviors, thought processes, and reactions are also what might be sabotaging your success. And I don't want to focus on those this evening, but I want to normalize that those behaviors are natural, they're stress reactions, and be mindful of what came up for you because it's likely coming up for you in other areas of your life as well. So, little bonus, little tidbit there. Tonight, we're going to just stick with your actual definition of success and the 4 ways that you might be sabotaging it before you even take your first step forward. So, number 1, was your definition non-existent? How many of you, well, you don't have to show of hands, this can get kind of personal. So just gut check yourself if you don't want to share. How many of you don't even have a definition of success? And I ask this, and this was actually a last minute ad for me because I realized that a number of the clients I work with, when I first ask them, hey, what are your goals? They don't have any for any number of reasons. And sometimes it's because they're afraid of setting goals. Because if they set a goal, it means they have to achieve it and they don't want to commit to that. Or they don't even know where to start. So if you don't have a vision of success or definition of success, that's probably sabotaging you. So, we'll just add that one in. Number 2, is your definition of success too specific? If your definition is so specific that it makes it difficult to recognize success when it presents itself in another fashion, it's probably sabotaging you. Definitions focused on specific outcomes also make it harder to pivot should your life start to take a different direction, and celebrate when things come up that maybe are close but not right on. So just be mindful if your definition is very specific. Like I joked about naming the yacht, but maybe one day you're going to realize you want an airplane, not a yacht, right? Like, let's just say we want some big fancy thing to do one day. Number 2, is your definition too vague? Just like a definition that's too specific can sabotage your success by pigeonholing you onto that path that might not serve the words. The one that's too specific can pigeonhole you into a path that doesn't serve you. Having a definition that's too vague can leave you waffling. It can leave you unfocused and it can leave you drifting with no clear call to action. Having a definition that's too vague also makes it really easy for you to latch onto other people's definition of success and lose track of the things that actually drive you and make you excited to get out of bed every day. And lastly, is your definition out of your control? I get it. We all want things that are outside of our control, like winning the lottery, getting a raise, getting promoted, maybe having a spouse or a partner, having a family. These are a few things that many of us want, but they're ultimately outside of our control. So if these are some of your goals, focus in on what is in your control. What can you do to set you up for success and optimize your potential of achieving those things? But don't latch on to the actual thing that, ultimately lays in somebody else's hands. Because sometimes even when we follow the rules and do everything we're supposed to do, these things just remain out of grasp, and that's okay. So just, again, be mindful of having a clear definition, not making it too specific, not making it too vague, and keeping it in your control. Very Goldilocks right now, right? Like we need the porridge to be just right. And when I talk about super click happy tonight. When I talk about that Goldilocks definition, your definition of success should be something that can be achieved right now in the current moment, and something that you continue to set goals to achieve in the future. It should be a vision that grounds you in your everyday, yet inspires you to find new and innovative ways to achieve it in the future. Think about that for a second. Show of hands, Molly, Kirsten, close your eyes. How many of you are using your MBA program as a mere stepping stone to help you achieve that next level in your career? Yep, couple hands. Yeah, right. That's why we go into MBA programs, because we want to get ahead. I know I did. I specifically enrolled in my MBA program to get a promotion and a raise. Two things, mind you, that were out of my control. And candidly speaking, I was so focused on finishing my MBA program and getting that promotion and getting that raise that I raced through it as quickly as possible. And I chose classes that were easy A's to maximize my tuition reimbursement. Looking back, without a doubt, if I had gone into my program thinking, what can I learn, rather than the check the box mentality that I had, I would have gotten so much more value out of the program. Especially now as a small business owner who uses marketing every day, I really wish I had paid attention to those marketing classes. So again, I don't know your motives, but take a step back, redefine your definition of success, and use this as an opportunity to lean into what you're doing and realize that you can get so much out of where you are right now and the classes that you're in, the role that you're in, even if you wish you could be ahead of like, just lean in, right? It's something that can be achieved right now. Now let's look at this in action. Let's look at my client, Bethany. When I started coaching my client, Bethany, she was very focused on moving up the corporate ranks and becoming an executive. Her primary goal when we started working together was getting promoted to a VP position within 6 months, something incredibly specific and largely out of her control. Yes, there's things she can do to get there, but the decision was somebody else's. So when we dug into why this was important to her, it was because she wanted to have autonomy over her decisions, financial wellness, and the ability to empower others. All things she could start to achieve and experience in the current moment, and as she got promoted into future levels. And when she did secure the promotion that she desired, she was able to approach her role as a leader with a growth and empowerment mindset, which helped her team cultivate trust and deliver exceptional results much quicker than if she had just been focused on checking that box. So how do you, I'm going to go back a slide real quick. How do you start to craft a definition that will empower you to feel successful in the moment and excited to set new goals and strategies to remain successful in the future? If you took your initial definition of success and moved it away, bring it back in front of you. Because the trick to setting a definition that serves you is to first identify things that are beneath what you initially wrote down a few minutes ago. So I want you to take a look at your definition, and in your notebook, I'm going to give you 3 to 5 minutes. I'm going to ask you guys to start raising your hands when you're done with the exercise, but I want you to take 3 to 5 minutes to start this 2-part approach. And I say start because honestly, this work takes a lot of time. So part 1, I want you to revisit your initial definition of success and underline elements of your definition that align with your core values. I want you to star any elements that spark joy and excite you. And I want you to cross out any elements of your definition that aren't serving you or that make you feel icky. So underline and star things that feel good, cross out things that don't. Then consider these additional questions. What would I want if I wasn't worried about what other people thought? And what would make me sit up a little bit taller, get a little giddy, and feel excited to wake up every single day? So go ahead, I'll set my timer for 5 minutes. But again, if you could just raise your hands as you start to kind of wrap this up, just so I have an idea of where we are. And I will play music off my phone this time, so it's a little bit easier to hear, because that's a long time to be silent. All right, take about 30 to 45 more seconds to just wrap up wherever you are. Also feel free to take a screenshot of this little tip if you would like to reflect further after tonight's session. And a question I always get with, oh wait, I just stopped the wrong thing. Let me stop my music. Is will I be sharing the slides? No, I don't share slides. So slides like this that you would like to reflect on further, please just grab a screenshot for your own purposes. I know it's very common in MBA programs to have slides sent out afterwards, but I don't do that. If this is recorded, you can get them that way. So awesome. So we're going to get to Q&A for a second. Thank you for those of you who kind of gave me a hand raise and let me know where you were. Super helpful for me for the future. I always like doing gut checks on how long these exercises actually take. So we're going to get into Q&A in a minute, but if you're comfortable sharing in the chat, I would love to learn what you maybe discovered as a result of this exercise. And if somebody's tired of typing and would like to come off mute, I can probably take one person to talk about it. Repeat the question. So as a result, in doing either the first exercise or the second exercise, what came up for you? What did you discover? What did you learn? What did you become more aware of? It's a very broad, open-ended question here.
I think I realized that success actually means something a little bit different than I initially thought it did.
Mm-hmm.
So I was thinking in terms of career promotion, and when I really started to think about it, it actually has a bit more to do with joy and fulfillment and service.
Mm-hmm. And I think thank you, Molly, for sharing that. What I didn't share earlier, and that this is a great segue, is the first things you mentioned, promotion, raise. Honestly, I forget what the third one was, but those are goals and strategies that can help you achieve joy, happiness, and to be of service to people. So be mindful of that. Is your definition full of goals and strategies that will help you achieve something deeper? And if yes, whatever that deeper thing is actually your definition of success. And that's how you can start living it every day. Like you can do things today that will help you be happier, be more joyful, and be of service to people.
Oh, it's almost like just having more awareness during the day of what really brings that joy. And that will continue to provide clarity on the direction to go for a more fulfilling life.
Mm-hmm. Totally. That was the biggest shift for me personally, was when I realized that it wasn't a title or a number. It was, for me, success is, it's really grounded in freedom and connection and empowering people to be their best self. So it doesn't matter if I'm out volunteering in the wilderness, if I'm volunteering for a local, music festival, if I'm coaching people, like every day is grounded in how can I help others or my community be better? And it's something I can do today. It's something I can do in the future. My goals align very much with my core values, and most of them are things I can control through actions and motivation. Yes. What I did notice is that being perfect wasn't in any of my ideas of success, even though I can beat myself up for not being so. Yeah. Good awareness there, that it's like, oh, wait, that awareness can help you reset the bar of like, what's enough when you're trying to achieve things, which makes it a little bit easier to put product out, put deliverables out, maybe submit a paper that's not A quality. So totally, thank you for sharing that. Yeah, maybe we've been successful, but we're not aware. Huge. Being able to be more aware will also help you celebrate more in the moment, be more um, mindful and gracious for the things that you have achieved. Our society, candidly, is very check the boxy when it comes to setting goals and strategies. It's like the moment you achieve a goal, it's like, great, what's next? It's like, you graduate high school. Great, where are you going to college? You finish college, where are you going to go get your MBA thing? You get a job. Great, what's the next role? It's like, whew, hold on, celebrate for a second, embody where you are. And it's slowing down in this society is really hard. Celebrating your successes even harder. So if you walk away from with anything tonight, it's take time to celebrate where you are. Take time when you feel successful to like actually celebrate it. Okay. Anyone have any lingering questions before we dive into the rest of the presentation? As promised, this is kind of my small break to just answer anything that might be lingering. And I'm going to give you like 3 seconds to chime in because for sake of time, if you don't have any, I am just going to move us forward. I feel like a mom, like going once, going twice. Okay, sold to the but seriously, if you guys have any questions that come up later as you're digesting this content, feel free to just shoot me an email. Molly, feel free to put my email in the chat. I'm always happy to answer questions offline. So if you couldn't type fast enough, or you're not comfortable sharing it in front of everybody else, just send me an email. Alrighty, let's dive in. Okay, I was like, oh, someone chatted. Nope, Molly, just you. So thank you for doing that. Your personalized success formula. This will really help you just focus in on where to spend your time and energy moving forward after tonight. So we have spent most of tonight, talking about having a definition of success that motivates and inspires you, and the importance of getting clarity around that first. So let's see yeah, look at that. I got an arrow. So success is where we've been focusing the conversation tonight. And if you're still struggling on what your definition of success is, or need to spend more time getting clarity around that, please start here. That's the big takeaway. Make sure you're really clear in what success looks like, how it feels, make sure it feels good to you. Now, for the other 3 sections, I'd like you to just in your notebook, rate yourself. Yes, I've got this, or no, this needs some work. I'm going to ask a couple questions to help you think about what is this and where are we? So warm up. We're going to start with your definition of success. Based on the work we did today, are you crystal clear in your definition of success? One that brings you ultimate joy, fulfillment, and excitement, or does it need some more work? So yes, I've got this. My definition is locked in. Or no, I need to still do some work on honing this definition in. Cool. Because once you're clear on your definition of success, the first step is then raising awareness. Because if you're not aware of who you are, including your core values, your strengths, and your sabotaging behaviors, or even where you're starting and what barriers you may be facing, then you won't be able to create a customized strategy that helps you leverage your strengths or trust yourself on the path to achieving your goals. So when it comes to awareness, the things that are draining your energy, any barriers to success, I want you to answer these 2 questions in your notebook. Am I fully aware of who I am, including my core values, strengths, and self-sabotaging behaviors? And am I fully aware of the internal and external barriers that may be holding me back? So yes, fully aware on both, or no, I should probably spend some more time doing some internal exploration. And once you can say yes to both of those questions, once you're fully aware of who you are and what you're facing, you can then start to customize your strategy into one that empowers you to prioritize your needs, your values, leverage your strengths, and optimize your potential for success. A strategy that may be a little bit selfish. Actually, a strategy that is completely selfish. One that puts you in the driver's seat of your own life and your own career. So the questions I want you to ask yourself here are, do I know how to create an effective strategy that will empower me to achieve my version of success? And 2, am I ready to leverage my strengths and prioritize my needs and my values? Yes, I've got this. No, might need some support here. And finally, when you are fully aware of who you are and have a strategy customized to your unique strengths and your definition of success, it's about having the resilience to trust yourself and the process so that you can navigate any situation no matter what life throws your way. So the questions I want you to ask about your mindset are, am I ready to release my preconceived notion of success and hold myself accountable to my definition? And 2, do I trust myself and my strategy enough to stay the course, even when things get hard or when outcomes are unexpected? And whether you're thinking, I've got this, no problem, or, oh crap, I have a long way to go. How we approach one thing is how we approach everything. It may even be one of the ways that you're sabotaging your success through false confidence or extreme self-doubt. And with that in mind, I would love to share one final story that shows the power of using this formula. When I first started working with Kevin, he was beyond burnt out. As a VP of client services at a large marketing agency and 2 young kids that were constantly home because of the pandemic and daycare shutdowns, he was just doing his best to survive. He had also been recently told that his largest client contract was coming to an end and he'd have to either transition into a new client or start looking for jobs outside of the agency. So he knew he needed help to get out of his funk and quickly. We spent several sessions on helping Kevin develop tools for stress management, and he seemed ready to start looking for new opportunities. However, after a few weeks of inaction, it became clear that his words were stronger than his desire to actually take action, and he wasn't doing the necessary work to find that role. When we explored why, we realized it was because he didn't want to do more of the same. The work no longer motivated him, and he was ready for bigger and better things. But he felt like he was being pigeonholed into client service type roles due to his experience. Kevin had always thrived as a thought leader and lit up when he talked about mentoring younger staff, doing strategic planning, and being on the cutting edge of innovative marketing solutions. Together, we helped him not only craft a new definition of success that incorporated the things that motivated him, but we also helped him craft stories that showcased how he was already doing a number of these things as an account manager so that his resume could highlight the out-of-the-box experience that would help him transition out of client services into a more strategic and consultative type role. This is why I wholeheartedly believe in the success formula in coaching, because with that increased awareness of what was holding Kevin back and the proper support system to hold him accountable, he was able to create a strategy that empowered him to achieve success on his own terms. So how do we make this magic happen for you? How do we help you start implementing what you learned here tonight? I want you to take a minute and write down one bite-sized action that you can take starting tomorrow that will help you start making progress towards your version of success. And I'm only going to give you like 30 seconds to do this because it's real small. What is one thing that you can do starting tomorrow that will help you start living a life that is more fulfilling and rewarding. And bite-sized is great, but I'm gonna be honest, this work is hard and it takes a lot of time and it requires some really deep soul searching. And it often takes a few renditions to finally land on that definition that truly inspires you, and even longer to develop the mindset and tools necessary to fearlessly show up as your best self every single day. So the question I really want to ask you is, how do you plan on staying focused when things get hard? Who do you have in your corner who has created the kind of success and freedom that you desire? Someone who inspires you and is there to hold you accountable when you're having doubts. Some of you may already have someone that can support you, and that's great. I encourage you to reach out to them first thing tomorrow, share your goals, and create an accountability plan. And for those of you who don't have a support system in place already, or who realize you might need additional support to redefine success and develop the tools necessary to unlock your full potential, I invite you to consider working with me. What I'm offering tonight is a complimentary discovery session to explore if coaching is part of your solution on your path to success. This call is a great option if you've been feeling burnt out or you're frustrated about not reaching your goals. It's also a great option if you're looking for a fresh perspective or an extra layer of accountability and you're ready to invest in yourself and your future. If that sounds like you, on this call, we'll discuss your goals, challenges, and any strategies that will help you get the results that you want. And if coaching is part of the solution, we will discuss what that partnership looks like. I take this time because working together is an investment of your time, money, and energy. And I want to be 100% confident that I'm the right fit for you and that coaching is the right fit for you. So to get on my calendar, simply go to conchicoaching.com/I'm ready. It's a simple scheduling page that will help you pick your preferred date and time, and boom, you're done. It's one less thing to think about. And because I love partnering with your program, if you mention CSUSB, I'd be happy to send you this free resource, which will help you continue to redefine success. In this resource, it is really just journal prompts. I believe it's 10 journal prompts that really help you dive deeper and really help you write your own definition. Not the definition that was given to you by your teachers, mentors, parents, or society, but a definition that brings you joy, happiness, and fulfillment. One that grants you the freedom to be 100% authentically you, which, I know, working with a coach will also get you. So just going to share some final thoughts. I am a trained and certified coach. I do this all the time. And I know one universal truth. Choice is everything. This right here is a choice point. Being here tonight, you have had the opportunity to explore your own personal definition of success. You have had an opportunity to consider a future that would bring you true happiness and fulfillment. The choice is, what are you going to do about it? Now, you are all grown adults, and you have every right to leave the awareness right here at the door and go on with your life. Back to the same stress, overwhelm, and potential lack of direction as before. But I encourage you to make this a pivotal moment and to make the choice to stop the sabotaging behaviors, stop sabotaging your success, and start taking the steps required to reach your goals. Because as much as you may be worried about falling, how beautiful would it be if you gave yourself permission to fly? So thank you so much for joining me this evening. Molly, thank you for having me. And if you would like to keep in touch, here's all the details, the social media, the LinkedIn, and I shared my email address earlier. So thank you.
Wonderful. Thank you so much, Jen.
Yeah.